So, let's get to it. This month's question is, what's your process when you're preparing for an audition or a recording session?
I remind myself that I'm ready. I familiarized myself with the script. I'm very comfortable with it. I like to be as familiar as possible. I read it several times before a session. And I also tell myself, I remind myself that, hey, this is something that I love to do.
I do tongue twisters just to get my tongue working in the right order.
One of the things that I particularly like to take note of is where it's going to play. Because if it's on the radio, the audience experience is going to be a lot different than if it's going to play on the web or on TV.
When I wake up, I like to take a shot of 5 Hour.
If I do decide to have a cocktail the night before, I will stick with my vodka tonics. That's my go-to.
I would normally have some apple juice on hand because it helps me if I get a bit of a clacky mouth.
A-I-O-U, A-I-O-U.
And that might impact how I'm going to tell the story.
So I will go up and down the scales, but then I'll tune something in on Alexa for 20 minutes or so, and I'll just do a sing-along.
Possibly do a workout beforehand. Beachbody or DDP yoga, my preferred favorites.
And then I do 2 or 3 read-throughs of the script just to get a good tempo down and, see what the flavor is, how it's working.
Possibly annotated. It depends if they've sent through some things they'd like me to do ahead of the meeting. Otherwise, I might just chop it up a little bit so that I can read it fluently.
I always start with some vocalizations, but nothing really happens until I spin up the mustache.
All of these things are going to inform how I go about telling this story. You knew I was going to say that, right?
Press go when the meeting starts.
And that's kind of how I get ready.
I just kind of wake up and I look like this. Might be a bad hair morning, but it won't be a bad hair day.
All right, let's do this.